Like it or not, we're all on an unstoppable journey to the future. This journey, driven by Mother Nature and Father Time, keeps us on our toes, wearing down everything in its path. For your association, the choice is not if you'll face upcoming major repair and replacement expenses, but how you'll pay for them. Fortunately, the board has the power to set assessments to sustain the association. But how much should you set aside? That's where a reserve study comes in to guide you away from surprises and towards having enough funds to perform all your major repair and replacement projects on time. Join us as we walk you through these introductory concepts in our Roadmap to the Future webinar and introduce you to the 7 Ds that you want to avoid along the way.
Starting with the basics, I presume you've all heard that having reserves is a good idea. But for most of our clients, and likely the associations you represent, the common sentiment is that we'll fund them someday, just not today. The reality is that deterioration is real, expensive, and ongoing. Mother Nature and Father Time are unstoppable forces. They've been deteriorating everything in their paths since the beginning of time. So as an association leader, you have to give up on the idea that you can avoid these expenses. They're going to happen. Major components at your association are going to fail and need to be prepared for to be replaced. So your choice is not if you can avoid the expenses, but how to fund the expenses. And it boils down to choosing between unsettling or expensive special assessments and loans or budgeted funding. You need to get comfortable with the fact that owning real estate is expensive and the costs are just unavoidable. It's like you see in this cartoon, with a real estate agent trying to explain how the association that didn't fund its reserves is a benefit. It's an unappealing association falling apart, but the dues are low because they aren't wasting money funding reserves. In other words, you get what you pay for, or don't pay for. The board has the power and the duty to set the budget, to collect money and spend it to sustain the association. So the question is if they're doing their job right or not. And as board members, they're charged by the governing documents as fiduciaries to do just that. Set a budget to sustain the association. And remember, when homeowners purchased a home in the association, they committed to paying their fair share, maybe reluctantly, but when both parties do their job, the association stays well maintained. So there's the thing called a reserve study. A reserve study gives its readers a sneak peek at the future, so they can avoid being surprised by upcoming projects. They get to save money by doing projects on time, avoiding expensive deferred maintenance. Collecting adequate reserves means owners don't have to fear special assessments because everybody has paid their fair share over time. And funding reserves responsibly reduces board member liability because they've treated everyone fairly and the property is well maintained. And that leads to maximized property values. And a regular reserve study update meets local state requirements, and those reserve studies provide the necessary disclosures that are required in some state. Without a reserve study, you're exposed to surprises. You think $250,000 is a lot of money? Think again. You've got a big $500,000 roof project that is likely going to occur in just 2 years. Now that $250,000 project looks pretty small. And when you're unprepared, projects don't get done on time, they end up getting more expensive. And add to that the problems created when your insurance company raises your premiums or fails to renew you because the property is deteriorated. And then, of course, there's what we call the Ds: disappointment, discouragement, dysfunction, and deterioration. That's what happens when deterioration is a result of what happens when we don't take care of the property. Declining home values. Remember that cartoon that a moment ago? Destruct when the owners don't think you are acting in their best interest, and danger, as we learned when Champlain Towers fell back in 2021, killing 98 residents.
At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.